great. Thank you so much for sharing. Who would like to speak next? I believe that should be Vivian.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Vivian. I I was with the product design class, and I have to say that it really helped me a lot. So I wanted to start a little backstory. I wanted to start product design a while back, but I had Figma on my laptop and my phone, but I didn't just know how to like use it. It was just there, basically just sitting pretty there. So I saw the Elenasy scholarship from a level mate of mine in school, and I just took up the opportunity. And I must say that I really loved the classes, the video representations. There were links to each and every aspect of what they were teaching at that point. So it really helped, not just having just theoretical knowledge. I could go in and dive in as much as I wanted and based on my own pace. And it was really, really nice because and I also enjoyed the live classes. Although for me, I felt like it wasn't a lot, but when we had them, it was basically okay. And my biggest fear, I conquered using Figma. I was able to figure out a lot of things and do some designs on my own to the extent that even before the project came up, I was working with someone on something, but we haven't really kicked off on it yet. But I was confident enough to bring up ideas to work with someone. So I would say it has really been a good experience.
Thank you so much for sharing, and we are so glad that we're able to kickstart that and help you overcome your biggest fear of using Figma. I'm so happy with this news I'm hearing
Thank you.
today, and I can feel the energy. Let me not say everyone, but many of the people here as excited as I am at the moment. So we heard from someone in product design, we heard from someone in data analytics, mobile development. Where are you? Front end development, back end development, quality assurance, yeah, executive assistance. To be honest, as a company, we had issues during the time of your program. So at some point, there was a delay in communication. However, I'm so happy to see that that didn't affect your disposition. People still participated in the capstone project, submitted as at when due. Results are in. However, you've not seen the results yet. You're going to get to see them. But I just want to say congratulations to you, regardless of how you have performed from February till date. Regardless, you have made a step, you have started a journey, and we don't expect that journey to come to an abrupt end anytime soon or ever at all. So congratulations to you. I must say congratulations to you. Today, however, is about employability. You've started something in tech. Vivian has started using Figma. Um, Sidat knows how to use SQL already, in addition to Excel and Power BI. We have others that are going to be sharing their thoughts. Moni Olua, I think Moni Olua was in front end development. Am I right, Moni? Would you like to speak and tell us about your experience?
Okay, hi Grace, hi everybody. So I was in data analytics
Okay.
and I had a very long journey. It was, quite hard at the beginning because I'm a newbie. Like I don't know anything at all. I just had interest, so I wanted to, learn more. Although I was familiar with Excel sheets before, so it was quite okay. But getting to the Power BI, I found out that it was actually not as hard as I thought. And then I also met some people in the class. I like the fact that everybody was so accommodating. You can enter anyone's DM and ask, and they will just respond so honestly. It was that nice. Then I had a lot of issues getting to SQL, downloading it, working with it. Oh, it gave me a very hard time. But I'm just so happy that I was able to conquer it with time. I mean, the whole class was for 3 months, and then I feel like 3 months has passed, and there was still enough time to digest and work. When we even got to the project part, people that I never would know, we just chatted each other, and then we worked on the project, so much insight. It has been a very, very, enlightening journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Maniolua. Thanks for sharing. And I'm happy to see that there was a lot of interaction going on. I mean, I'll drop messages on the group, and probably one person, two persons are interacting or are reacting. I'm wondering, are people learning? Are people enjoying this program? So I'm so glad to hear all of this feedback. So things were going on low key, and you all kept us out of the know. Well done to you. Well done. So we're going to move on. So today we're talking about employability. Whatever it is that you've learned or you think that you've not learned, trust me, you can build on it. And I'm not going to be the one that will be telling you to the do's and not to do's and what not. We have somebody here who is in a better capacity to guide you on that. So I'm just going to move on from here. You know about Elenasy already. I'm just going to briefly run through who we are, then how the program was, employability session, then you can ask your questions. Then tomorrow we are going to call it a wrap. So yes, who are we at Elenasy? You already know. So when somebody asks you who we are at Elenasy, you should know that we're a rapidly evolving digital landscape where people are empowered to champion innovations and shape the future of technology. I mean, long story short, just as what we've done with you, that's what we're doing to many other people or with many other people. We help you move a step further from where you are in tech. That's what we do. And we go beyond helping you learn. We help you gain opportunities. A few people have been contacted from this set, and a few others are still going to be contacted for opportunities. So that is what we do on at Elenasy. We are making, so we used to be that program, we used to be like a typical ed tech. Come and pay us big money, because I mean tech is not affordable. Learning education anywhere is not affordable. So we used to be that, but you come pay us big amount and we're going to teach you. But we resolved to making this more accessible to many more people, whether they can afford it comfortably or not. We've resolved to make it more affordable, and that's why we are running this scholarship. We are now on our 4th edition, and we are so excited about it, and we're so excited that you've been a part of it as well. So thank you for doing this with us, I must say. And the founders, Faith Oyekweju and Ire Odega, who are unavoidably absent from the meeting today, they send their regards. They say kudos to you all for making it this far. They wish they could have been part of this meeting, but other responsibilities came up. The scholarship 2.0. So you may be familiar. You should be familiar. You are the second set we're having this week. And to be honest, yeah, the first set that's going to use WhatsApp for communication. And we brought that up because by the time you started the program, our forum on the LMS had some technical issues. Just so that it doesn't affect your communication, we brought in the WhatsApp communication. And sincerely, it has been good for you. It has been good for you, and that is our joy. It helped you communicate with others, and we're just so happy about that. We've moved on from how it was before, and we have also added other features so that where you are learning is where you're able to interact as well. So you can tell others the moment you open, say for instance, SQL, as Saida talked about, you open SQL and you're having an issue, you can drop a message on the forum and others will get to be notified immediately. So these are some of the things that we have brought in since you started the scholarship. You may not see it anymore. And we also organized this to be for 3 months, but we have given an extension. With the scholarship starting now, with the graduation happening now, there's been an extension. So for those people who have not completed their courses or their programs, they've had a grace. And we hope you are done now, because we're more particular about you gaining something. We hope you are done now. So the scholarship has been an interesting one. We started with 125 people on the program. We started 125 people on the program. We should I call the number? Maybe we'll talk about the number of people that are graduating tomorrow. We don't have close to 100 graduating tomorrow, however, but it is expected. When we started, we on this program we had people who are both students or working class, people who had no idea about tech, people who had a background in tech as well. So it was a mix of different people from different um, phases of life, and it's expected that not everybody is going to complete it due to different circumstances and whatnot. But we are here now. We are here now, and we're so happy that this is happening. For today, like I said, it is for employability. For your employability, what do you have now, and what should you do with it? That's what we'll be discussing today. And no other person is going to be able to do that other than Sixtus Njoku, who is here. He's the co-founder and CEO of Velara. Some of you have been hearing about AI. If you have any questions regarding AI, our facilitator today is a co-founder, should I say with AI? He's a co-founder running an AI company. So if you have any questions, is here to respond to them. So who is Sixtus? He's a very passionate person. You're going to see the passion from the way he speaks. He's passionate about examining complex business and challenging and business challenges, and he leverages the latest technological innovations to drive effective solutions. I mean, you can tell already from him building an AI powered company. He's very much able to inspire and nurture and lead impact innovation teams. If you hear us talk about businesses, building businesses, you will think it's so easy. You think it's just like stepping out to go buy bread. People are just so comfortable in building businesses and making use of what is available, and that is why he's here to guide you today. So I am super excited to welcome Sixtus to take over the session. Hello, Sixtus.
Hello, Grace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Can you guys see me? Good afternoon to you all.
Hello. If you can see Sixtus, please let me know.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, that's a
Good
very quiet
afternoon.
class. Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon, sir.
Jeremiah. Good afternoon, Lawa.
Good
I'm
afternoon. Good
Sixtus. There's no point adding the side over there. Really. Sixtus is very
Okay.
perfect. Trust me.
Good afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much, Grace, for the great introduction. And I'm going to be honest. She told you guys I'm building a company. Honestly speaking, yes, I am, but we've not launched yet. So we are still sort of at the very early stages. Um, and of course, Grace, your facilitator, is fantastic. I've worked with her. Brilliant. Totally brilliant. Explosive. And when she invited me to be the facilitator, or rather to walk you guys through this employability session, I was like, what am I going to talk to these fine people? I mean, it's a rare privilege. How many of you are here? 18 people. 18 people listening to me talk to you people. What do I know? I mean, I'm incredibly lucky to be with you all today, and then sort of share a bit of my knowledge with you great people. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'm going to be I'll make certain to sort of speak so slow so you guys can understand. So because I sort of speak very fast, so I will try my best to contain my speech pattern so you guys can flow with me in that sense. And of course, I would want this session to be super interactive, so it doesn't look like I'm the only one talking and then no one is sort of flowing with me. So, um, as I already know, my name is Sixtus Njoku. I've been in the UK for the past 3 years now. Finished my master's in information systems management. DS was in computer science. And yeah, had 3 years first prior to completing my studies, but then I decided to go and see if I can build a company. It's a terrific and difficult journey. But yeah, I thank Jesus Christ for that. So guys, I'm gonna have to share my screen very fast because I know I have just barely 1 hour. So I'm going to be fast so we can actually talk more. For those of you who want to throw questions at me, of course. Did you guys hear me at all?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Oh my goodness,
Yes, we can.
Nigerian Sansaya. I'm Sixtus. I'm very comfortable with my name. Okay. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. I can
All
hear you.
We
right.
can see you. We can see you.
Great, guys. Thank you so much for the response. So, there was someone who actually, when the first lady Miss Grace was talking about, she said, "What if you actually learned how to use Figma?" I mean, who is that person, please?
That's me.
Okay, Vivian. Vivian, what did you actually what course did you take with Elenasy? Could you talk to me?
Product design.
Product design. Interesting. So are you a UX designer, or just talk to me? What have you learned, and
This
how
is
can I
this.
actually?
I came in as a complete novice, so I had interest earlier on, but I didn't really like. I didn't really find a facilitator that could take me. So it was just lying dormant for months. So when Elenasy came up, I learned basically almost everything that they put on the site, the process, the thought, even like the thought process to creating your end product was really, really insightful for me because I didn't know that you had to go through so many, like not necessarily so many steps, but I didn't know such thought process was being put into end product. All my mind was just, oh, people just have a flair for things like this. I didn't know there was a thought process to. So learning about the thought process, the steps was really, really good for me.
Perfect. So have you recently applied for any role recently? Any job or any role?
I've been applying for internship positions, but you know the way Nigeria is, they'll tell you for an internship position you have 2 to 3 years experience. So I'm just comfortable being around for now. I'm around friends that are doing almost the same thing and just learning from them.
Perfect. So during the application stage, do you just apply and then you wait for the interview? That's the interview invite. Do you sort of send in your application and then you wait for the interview invite, or what do you do exactly?
Well, because I mean I'm applying to different like companies. Most times I really just wait. There are some companies that will get back to you on, oh, okay, we would have loved to employ you, but this and this and this and that. There are some that will not get back to you, but I feel like the feedback is always very good because with feedback, you always know what areas you should improve and what areas are more marketable.
Perfect. Okay, perfect, guys. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why I asked this question is, I mean, the stages of the process it took to actually apply to the job you actually say you apply to is it's basically what 99% of people do, right? They see, job adverts and then they send in the applications. And some people are lucky to be called for interview, but most people are not. So I'm going to share with you guys some strategies which I think would actually benefit you all. That 99.9% of people don't do when they're applying for roles. And the reason why they don't do that is no one is ready to go one step further. And it's only just that less than 1% of people who do that are sort of lucky. Now, these strategies, this is a disclaimer, it's not guaranteed to give you or to land you a job or to land you a role, but it differentiates you from virtually everyone who is applying for that position or everyone who is applying for a job. So, and the reason why I say this is I know a couple of people who have actually utilized these strategies and then it has worked for them. I haven't. I really never obviously applied for any role, but it's based on my experience, not only as someone who is already building a company, but um, as someone who have also received applications from people who have taken that same sort of idea and implemented it. So guys, strategies to land a role in any company or in any startup. Quality over quantity must be something you have to look out for. I know most people actually see a job advert and then some people, I don't know how many of you would actually do this, they don't sort of tailor their CV to sort of meet the job description. They just look at that job, do it bits, randomization, and I'm talking about just trying to flex a CV, but then not in a detailed manner that is sort of attack style. What they really do is just a bit of changing a few words and then they send in the applications, and that is very disastrous. I mean, if you're applying for a job that you're looking to get, why not take your time and do an absolute edit on your CV so you can stand the chance? Because unfortunately, you guys would agree with me that most applications that it actually goes into the applicant tracking system (ATS), and how disadvantageous that situation is. You get my point where you take your time, you apply, and then you're not called, but you didn't give it your absolute best. Why waste your time, my friends? So rather than applying to lots and lots of companies as people always do, look out for that company where you want to work for, or where you want to work, or who you want to work with. That company, that hiring manager, the founder of a company. Look out for that company. Craft a detailed, comprehensive CV and apply with that CV. But not just that. Not just that. That is the least of what you have to do. But it's most important that your CV is super tailored to the job you're applying for. And I'm going to walk you through. I don't know the structure of your CV, Twitter, very fantastic platform. If you're not there, you're missing a lot. So follow the founder on Twitter. Follow whoever is the hiring manager on Twitter. Try to engage them. Engage them in a manner they would look at you and be like, "Wow, this guy has a lot." Try to be a thought leader. They make a post on Twitter. Follow up, and not just post funny things there when you're following up. Your comment should actually signal that this guy or this lady is super. This is an excellent person. Get my point? Don't forget you're actually looking for something. You want to work for this company, so whatever you're doing should be, whatever replies are given. If you actually send them a DM, it should be one that would sort of stand you out as a person of value, not someone who sort of makes or cracks some very hopeless jokes that doesn't benefit you. Okay, so there's no perfect job, and don't wait for it. I think I've repeated this. If you have a company or a founder or someone you want to work with, even if they're not applying, even if they are not sort of accepting candidates, even if there's no role on the market, and you want to work for this company, you can still do the same thing. Don't wait for don't wait when they actually send out a position out there. You can engage with whoever is hiring manager, and of course it downs on you to do your research. Go on LinkedIn, look out for these guys, connect with them, chat them up on Twitter, right? Connect with them on Twitter. Do your homework. Look at exactly what you think would benefit this company at the long run. Are they looking to launch a particular product? Have you looked at their news? What's it called? Usually, some companies, I don't know, here in the UK, they actually on their website they will be like, there's a session where you see news articles about the company, about their plans within the quarter. So you go to these companies, look at, do a bit of research, look at what exactly is happening, what's the industry trend in that company or in that industry, and then how can you position yourself to provide solution based on your skill set for that company, and apply to that company, or send a message to the hiring manager in that regards with what you think, your ideas in that sense, as to how they could actually attack that problem or come up with a superior solution than their competitors. Point number, I don't know, could be 5 or 6. Optimize for your zone of genius. Still on the point of application. Most people who are applying for a job, they apply with their CVs, and that is good. But have you actually looked at applying with a video, right? Sending out a personalized video to the hiring manager in that sense. Sending a video to the CEO of that company. So whatever your communication medium that sort of magnifies your strength, I think applying with that from that sense is much more beneficial. And of course, that doesn't mean you're going to neglect the other steps you need to take, right? Your CV or your LinkedIn. No, no, no. All of these things are going to come as one package with your video. You can actually use a couple. There are a couple thousands of platforms where you can actually create videos. You can use YouTube for those of you who actually have a YouTube channel. You can use YouTube. You can use well, you're going to have to pay for the SensePack. That's for AI video generation. Or you can use my, well, not now anyway. At least after we've launched, you can use our platform as well. So optimize for your zone of genius. If you're great on videos, use apply with videos. Um, Even if you are not actually asked to use videos, if you build websites, you are, what do you call it? You're an engineer, you're a software engineer. You can build a landing page, right? Where you document various strategies on how you can actually help this company move from point A to point B, right? Um, Whatever your skill set is, let there be proof that you've actually done this and you can do this, and apply with that as a backup. That is one of the best strategies to actually get a job. Don't just apply for a particular, don't just apply to a particular company without sort of proof of work. You're not going to be lucky with that strategy. So when reaching out to these guys, you've got to play um, to your zone of genius. Even if you have to travel to meet the hiring manager, even if you have to travel to meet the founder of that company, it's a sacrifice they're going to be willing to make, and is the best way to actually land a job. And don't forget, if you're going to have to travel for this to meet the founder, to meet the hiring manager, it speaks much more than when you've not met them face to face. Even if you get to the point of the interview, right, and then you're waiting to be called, take a step further. Go to the company. Insist you want to see whoever is hiring. You know, you see, one thing about life is you've got to be cocky to win. And what I mean cocky, I mean you could have to play a bit of pranks. That's what I mean by cocky. Now, not dangerous pranks, but very smart pranks that sort of stands you out. That's what you need to do. Oh, I think I mentioned this. Meeting in person is better than online. So if you can find a way to meet the hiring manager, do that. To meet them in person, do that. It speaks much more than when you are meeting them online, right? So it's a bit of sacrifice you'd have to make if you are willing to get a job. It takes a lot, a whole lot, but it's super exciting. I mean, if you're that passionate, you're going to love it. It's an exciting journey. I tell you for free. Um, so yeah. So while this is not a guarantee that you get a job, I can assure you that following this playbook will differentiate you from everyone. The reason being that 99.9% don't follow these strategies, and I can assure you that probably a few of you actually do this, or none of you have done this. So guys, that is it on my PowerPoint presentation. Now, more realistically, I'm going to share with you an idea someone developed, right? A documented idea someone worked on that could have gotten her to MTN if she actually applied to MTN. And I'm happy to share that with you. So there was, can you guys see my screen, yeah? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, 1 minute.
Yes, I can.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah, that's Jeremiah. That's Lawal, and that's Lua. Sorry, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. My sincere apologies. So yeah. Tell me, what do you think about my experience? What do you guys think? And I would want you to share with me. Have you actually used these strategies, and then has it worked for you? For those who have used it, and for those who have not used it, I mean, talk to me. I'm listening now. Come on, Jeremiah, tell me. I want to hear from you, Mr. Jeremiah.
Those strategies like this now, they look and they sound okay, like they're sounding well, they're good things. But right now, I've not really started doing most of all those like applying for stuff because I'm still students. And these things help me very well with my course because I'm studying computer science. So when I'm even planning to apply for things this year, I'm going to apply for things maybe this month safe. So I'm going to use these steps. I'm going to use everything that he said. I'm going to try it and I'll apply it. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jeremiah. You're still a student, is it?
Yes, yes,
Computer science.
yes.
Okay. Can I ask you, what's your plan after school? I mean, that's bold
Well,
vision.
okay. After school now, I want to have a career in websites, front-end development. That was like the main plan that I have. Like I just want to go into front-end development. That was it.
You want to be a software engineer, is it?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Mr. Obrecht, can you sort of mute yourself, please? Okay. Perfect. Jeremiah, we actually have an AI that actually can build a website. I hope you know that. I mean, software engineers, I doubt that there will be some sort of exclusive.
Now those my guys for the
Obed, are you there? Can you sort of mute your mic, please? Perfect. So Jeremiah, well, I want to be a software engineer. I actually think you can start a company. I told Grace that, and I don't know if she's here. I told her, why don't you tell your guys to they could all start a company in Nigeria, or they could actually leave Nigeria and start a company. I mean, that's the biggest impact. That's the biggest thing you can make in a country. But yeah, you want to be a software engineer, fantastic. But like I've said, if you're applying for a role, applying with your CV is not just enough, right? Taking it a step further, 100%. So yeah, great to speak with you, Jeremiah. Yeah, whoever, Vivian, I would say, is she there? Vivian, can you hear me, Vivian? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm somehow busy. Sorry, I can
Oh,
hear you.
sure. No worries. So talk to me. Are you still a student or are you actually applying for jobs?
I just graduated
Interesting.
a
What
while
course?
back. Microbiology.
Oh wow. What's the plan?
I have my own startup. I run a lab that offers food handlers tests for manufacturing companies, food manufacturing companies.
Oh wow. That's fine. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I hope you're actually finding it exciting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Perfect. Mr. Obed. Sorry, Obed, right? Are you there? Are you there, Mr. Obed?
I'm with you.
Boss, what are you doing now? Are you also applying for a job?
And do you have job for me?
What did you study?
I studied aquaculture and fisheries management.
What did you study with Elenasy?
I studied data analytics.
So are you developing on those skills?
Ah, very sure. I applied for one or two intern jobs online as a data analyst, and then also offline. I try to see one or two students because I'm still into it university where I graduated from to assist them on doing their research design and methodology because I actually I'm also good in research writing and publications on presentations as well. So I
Yeah,
just did
interesting.
the data analysis part just to sum up the whole stuff so that when I want to write a proper research work, I can just handle everything from the beginning to the end, do both the theoretical research and on the analysis aspect as well, I can handle it properly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome, Obed.
Mm.
I don't know. I'll share this with Grace and then she can actually send it to you all after the lecture, of course.
Okay.
And then um I was meaning to share this document with you, but I don't think it can be opened from Nigeria. So I'll probably speak with Grace and see how we can sort of send it to you guys, probably as a PowerPoint or a Word document in that sense. So this is something someone developed for, not developed actually. It was an idea she actually shared with MTN in that sense that I think we have landed at a job because the job description there we are so detailed as to how they need strategies for sort of a competitive advantage than other competitors. And I'm talking about Airtel and the likes of them. So she came up with this idea and shared that with me, and then I was more excited. It was mind blowing. I don't know. I can't share this with you all because obviously, um, I can't. So sorry. So I think that if she had actually applied with this idea to MTN and a couple other things that she actually worked on, she would have gotten that job. And so I really wish for you all to actually take this strategy or take this step, right? If you're applying for any job, don't just apply with your CV, don't just apply with your LinkedIn, um, and wait to be called upon or wait to be invited for an interview. It really doesn't work that way any longer because the world is very noisy and the way you market yourself is to differentiate yourself. So be a talkative on Twitter. I don't talk on Twitter anyway, but then I think it's great to sort of help you build that community or that connection in that sense. And even when you're talking on Twitter, ensure that your thought process are 100% refined in that sense. Same applies to on LinkedIn. If you're applying for a job, LinkedIn should also be a place where you are so you know you are noticeable because it's sort of difficult if you're applying for a job and then you don't have a LinkedIn presence. It's almost impossible to believe that you get a job. So, well, yeah, I don't know, Grace, are you there? Um, yeah, I think I'm done with all I needed to share. Okay, I want to sort of share with you, or I'll send this to Grace so she can send it to people. Sort of a CV format that actually works. I think. I don't know if it works in Nigeria, but I think it will work for you for those of you in Nigeria, but because it's actually the same strategy we use here in the UK. So it's a format to actually use if you want to apply for a job, here in the UK. I think it would work for those in Nigeria. I'm not certain, but I think it would work, and I'm going to send that to you all through Grace, who I believe would also send it out to you. So I think I'm done with my presentation, and I'm more than happy to answer any question you guys are wanting to try at me at this time. Yeah? I shall. You're welcome.
Sister Grace, I miss you.
So I dropped raise hands so that you can pay attention to the question on top on the book. I said I will. Yes, yes.
Yep. For job application, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, for starters, LinkedIn is the first point of call. Yeah. Um. And Nigerian job market. I don't know some of the platforms in Nigeria, but I know uh there are some platforms like. Am I still sharing my screen? Oh, let me end this. Let me switch my screen off and then um So yeah. So for starters, you can use LinkedIn. There is also an AI platform that's called jobright.ai. I'm going to sort of drop the link here. AI. Um, there is also for remote work. There is a platform called Well Found. Let me see. Let me be sure before I sort of send the link. Well Found. Yeah. So yeah, correct. I'm correct in that sense. So there is a platform like Well Found. You can obviously um, create a login. You can actually log in, create an account, and apply for jobs. It's a global platform, so you can look out for what's it called, remote work, or for jobs that are based in Nigeria. I'm not sure that there are lots of them that are based in Nigeria. But for those of you who probably, I don't know if anyone is based outside of Nigeria, it's a good place to look for a job as well. And of course, there are some companies that are looking to hire globally, so it's also a good place to find such companies. So well found is a good place to be. And then yeah, the Nigerian sort of job platforms. I'm not very conversant with those ones, but I know if you look up, if you sort of go to your Google, there will be a lot of them. And of course, Indeed, you can actually find jobs on Indeed in Nigeria, I think. So those are platforms you can actually utilize. LinkedIn, well found, and if you do a bit of Google search, you know a bit more. So yeah, any other questions, please?
Thank you very much, Grace. Hi, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Sixtus. So,
Good
my
evening.
question goes thus. So, when you were talking, you were teaching us, and you were saying something about, strong follow up, enter the hiring manager's DM, shoot your shots and all. Okay, so someone like me personally, I've tried that, and then I found that it's very paranoid. So, like, once I probably follow up and I don't get a response, I just tend to withdraw, like, sit back. So, like, what can I do in that situation? Because sometimes fear, anxiety always comes in, especially when you're applying to a new place entirely, meeting new people, and then you don't know what to expect, so as to not fumble. What can somebody do in that aspect? The whole follow up part just sounds like, cliche, like follow up, but it's not as easy as as it seems to be. So, what can
Yeah.
somebody do in that situation?
So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know, probably because I've been in the UK for a couple of years. I sort of understand a bit about how this place works. Um, for someone like me, it's super easy for me to get responses in Nigeria. It's not easy for me to get responses here in the UK. So let me break this down. Um, I've had a lot of no's, right? Even when I'm talking to the head of sales of some companies, a lot of rejections. I go on calls and then they just, they tell me, unfortunately, you're not looking to use the software, blah, 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 all of those. Yeah, obviously there'll be rejections, obviously. Um, but what I've done really, I don't want to say it's because I write very well or because I sort of have some sort of portfolio in that sense. I don't think it's that. But what I think is it depends on how you sort of, craft a message. I'm looking for a message. I'm sort of going to share with you guys a message I sent to the head of sales, and I got a response. I think in less than 5 minutes because the person was online anyway. Um, so here is the thing: as for rejections, you're going to get rejections, 100%. You're going to get rejections, lots and lots of those. Um, but here is the thing again: doing a bit of research on the person and on the company is where you have a better advantage, right? There was there was this company, the head of sales, who I sort of followed on Twitter. So I realized that the child plays a lot of tennis. The boy loves tennis, and then and here in the UK there was some sort of tournament happening within that in that month. So I did a bit of research about this particular person, learned about the son's love for tennis because the person posted it on his Twitter. So I followed up with this person. I was like, hey man, any exciting thing you want to share with me about any exciting thing you want to share with a newbie who is sort of going into the tennis world. I don't play tennis, but I sort of crafted my message in that sense, sort of to build some sort of connection, to personalize my message. So we got talking from that sense, and then I sort of saw the idea of what we're building in that sense. That hey, we are building this, and this is exactly how I think it's going to benefit your company. And I landed a meeting with the head of sales for this company. So, and I'm not saying this is going to work for you, but all I'm saying is you might follow up might not be necessarily from the point of the job you applied. You can sort of just initiate a conversation, probably based on the person's post. You get my? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can.
Yeah,
Yes, we
just
can.
initiate a
We can.
conversation based on the posts you made on Twitter or the post you saw on LinkedIn, right? Or something that's written a year prior. Bring it up with, of course, new ideas or new. I mean, you've got to be creative in this style now. When you're talking about something, relating to that person in that sense, you've got to be creative on how to be able to get a response, right? So you can come from that angle. It's not necessarily about the job you applied, but the whole idea is just to bring up a connection that could actually allow you to talk about the job you applied for. And then from there, listen, from there you can actually sell your idea. I mean, if you have an idea that could actually help this company become much more profitable, I mean, it's a greater way to do that. So for those of you who actually know how to follow up, it's great. I'm looking for this. If I don't see it, I'll send it to Grace. Um, um, a couple of ways to follow up with someone or a hiring manager. A couple of angles it can come from. I will send it to Grace. I'll sort of document it and send it to Grace so she can share that with you all after the call. I'm not sure I'm going to find it within the short time we have. So yeah, I would send the message. If Grace can remind me, I would love that so I can actually have all of these things down and then send to you guys. So Muniluwa, you said you followed up. You
Yes, I
should be
did.
expect to be rejected. Expect for the person not to respond to you, especially when your profile doesn't look great, right? Because people are
Hmm.
social beings, and then if your profile doesn't look great, if you have less than 100, 1,000 followers on Twitter, I mean, they'll be like, "Who is this person?" You get my point?
I feel because most times they would never reply to DMs. That's so discouraging. So I don't even bother at a point. I don't even bother to send them DMs again. I just hope and wait from afar.
I agree, but don't be discouraged. It's one of the challenges you're going to face as someone who's applying for a job. I mean, for those of us who are also building companies, we actually sort of face those challenges because we want to sell our software. So obviously, you're going to have to pitch these guys, and of course, pitching them means you're going to be rejected. So learning objection handling is also one of the angles. You get my point. So
Yes, I do.
following up you can follow up from an entirely different strategy, getting to know that person based on the post they made or the post they made a long time ago, um, or a bit of research you learned about them. You get my point. So it can also come directly anyway. I mean, you can follow up directly. But I'm going to share with you a few of the follow up messages that I think would actually work. So yeah, another question, please. Olayiwola Rekaya. Sorry, I'm so sorry if I murdered your name, honestly. Don't be annoyed with me. Another question. Olayiwola, I see your hand is raised up. She's here. Hello,
Sorry,
guys.
sir, can I speak?
Yeah, sure, please, come on.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
It's I'm actually done with school, yeah, and okay, I'm done with school. I'll be done with NYSA like this month. So so far so good. I've actually been applying and haven't gotten any response yet. So I think from your session now, I could see where I am mixing things up. So this is my question.
What was the question? Just throw me.
Yeah, you said we should more or less like work. Let me put it this way: like look at where we can come in before applying, like feeding them our work. So as a data analyst, I can do little or nothing for a company without their data. And most of the time, it's part of what we were taught to be data conscious, like security. When it comes to security, ensure that the data of your clients is very, very confidential and all of those things. So how can like as a data analyst, how can I feed them with what I can do, like what I am capable of doing through
Okay.
my skills, basically, without their data?
Okay. Can I ask you some questions? Are you confident that I can ask you some questions? Hmm?
Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure. What
Yeah.
tools do you use as a data analyst?
Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and I just got introduced to SQL from this scholarship.
Okay, you're quite good with these tools, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What companies have you applied to?
Well, I've tried Quantum Leap. I tried Coda. I think those are the two like I can remember their names at the moment. Yeah.
I want to see if I can look at the job descriptions of data analysts so I can help you, so I can sort of personalize my response to you. And I understand your question. Obviously, you obviously need to work with data, but I think it also applies in that demographics. Sort of create a targeted to create a targeted marketing campaign and some ideas you could actually share with them based on your findings with the data you've analyzed. Now, here is the thing. Obviously, the data doesn't belong to CUDA.
Yes.
So you're working with simulation in that sense. But can you come up with a genius idea which, based on your research, CUDA hasn't implemented yet? And if they could actually bring you on board as a data analyst, and you take this step, this is going to be the output based on your findings.
Mm.
And then basically what I'm saying, the output based on your findings is a new idea which, um, if you actually run this is going to be the idea, and this is going to be the result. So if we do this, if we run this data, if we analyze this data, we can actually implement this idea and create a marketing campaign for this location, because people in this location are not using CUDA, or um, introducing this idea in this location would actually increase the download, right, or
Yes.
sign-ups in CUDA. So that is an idea, that is an angle that you can actually apply the same strategy from. You can actually simulate data, and even if you don't simulated data or randomized data, coming up with an idea that you can actually utilize your skills to get that result, which you want to sell to CUDA, is an entirely different approach. So it's going to be based on you on how to solve this, and this can actually take a week for you to do. That's why I said don't just apply randomly. Look for a company you want to work for or you want to work with, and apply this sort of strategy. Does that make sense?
Yes, 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 sir. Thank you, Mr.
Are you
Situs.
sure it makes sense?
Yes, it did, because like an idea just like pop like in my head as you were. I can even make a research on CUDA themselves. I think they
Yeah,
actually put it out there where they like their location, where their customers are in. So from
yeah.
that, it is easier to denote where they don't have strong power, where they don't have customers, and they
Mm,
would surely be prospective clients for them
absolutely.
there. So more or less like do a research for that set of locations to know their needs, because it will
Yeah,
now be okay, cool, that this is the need of these consumers in this specific location that you are weak. If you can do this, give them recommendation, give them call to
absolutely,
action, and it will
absolutely.
be That was what I thought of. So it's really, really makes sense. Thank you so much, sir.
Happy to help, Lawal. Happy to help. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. I guess there's another question. Grace, I think it's up to you to take over the meeting in that sense.
How do I take this?
Thank you.
Great. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you
guys.
very,
Thank you
I
so
very
appreciate.
much.
much.
It was
Really
such an
appreciate.
insightful and enlightening meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. This was a great opportunity for us all, and we are grateful we got the skills required. Thank you so much to the Elenasy Tech group.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate my time with you all today. Have a fantastic time. Okay.